squatters of land, it is also the province with the biggest population in Indonesia. The fertile land of West Java is the reason why agriculture becomes one among the major sources of income for the people in the province.
Yang pertama ya pola tanam, karena kan kita nggak tahu juga, misalkan di Medan ada yang nanam kubis berapa hektar, berapa luasan, di Jawa berapa luasan juga. Nah, yang kedua harga, yang ketiga update hama penyakit. Kayak misalkan kan musim hujan itu kan penyakitnya beda-beda, terus musim kemarau penyakitnya juga beda-beda. 3 informasi itu yang saya butuhkan. Untuk sekarang uji nyali, ya karena kan informasi juga belum sepenuhnya kita dapatkan. Jadi ya nanam apa aja lah, yang penting nanam, terus ya ikut-ikutan sama petani lain juga.
Kalau pertanian ngitungnya per tahun, Mas. Per tahun bisa 3 musim, bisa 4 musim. Tergantung komoditas. Ada satu yang kalah, yang rugi lah misalnya.
Ada yang cuma 10% dari total, ada yang 30%. Jadi tergantung komoditas juga biasanya.
Kita pasti ketemu dengan seperti itu. Tapi kalau pasarnya bermarket, kan ekspor, agak stabil.
Packing house sendiri itu dituntut untuk supply secara terus-menerus ke pasar modern. Sementara panen dari petaninya hanya mengandalkan 1000 meter ini gitu. Ketika barangnya habis, packing house mungkin jadi kebingungan juga. Saya gak mau bingung-bingung nyari barang, ya mereka akhirnya lari ke yang siap secara kontinunya walaupun bisa dikatakan bandar. Jadi ketika misalkan harus ditanam dengan sistem pola tanam itu, jadi mereka nggak mau gitu. Katanya itu, Pak, tanggung kalau misalkan nanti tanam, misalkan yang punya lahan 2000 meter, saya suruh pola misalkan per 1000 meter, tanggung gimana kalau misalkan pas ini dapat harga bagus, yang lainnya dapat jelek gimana gitu. Karena apa? Pola pikir dari si petaninya mungkin belum dapat juga. Jadi ketika misalkan dengan sistem pola tanam itu keuntungannya apa gitu. Karena si petani saat ini belum dapat pasar yang pas untuk pasarnya sendiri, ya makanya mereka ketika saya giring pun untuk sistem pola tanam itu agak susah juga.
Misalkan kita ngirim 1 truk, ya kenanya sih yang kebuang 10-15%.
Secara jumlah penyuluh untuk di wilayah Kecamatan Lembang dengan jumlah 16 desa, yang mana penyuluhnya itu ada 8, itu masih tidak mengcover secara keseluruhan. Karena idealnya itu satu penyuluh itu megang 1 desa.
Ya kita perhitungan berapa gitu angka yang dikeluarin ketika kita sewa dan ketika kita memiliki gitu kan. Soalnya katanya mahal gitu kan.
Kalau dilihat dari akurasinya itu paling ya 5:5 lah.
Kalau yang udah dari 1 hektar ke atas itu orangnya hidup katanya nggak mau diurus sama orang lain. Dianggapnya udah gedean kapital gitu. Kalau yang kecil ya tanahnya juga sedikit, ngapain gitu ikut kelompok gitu. Katanya ribet katanya.
The problems of Indonesia's agriculture are there, waiting for us to solve. The task is in our hands because we, as consumers, have the privilege to enjoy the products of agriculture. We are privileged for being able to make use of technology and innovations and exposed to great ideas from around the world. Our time has come as a nation. Join our movement to support local farmers so that they can have better livelihoods and a brighter future. It is for them and their families, but it is also for us and Indonesia. We are calling for Indonesia's brilliant minds to take this challenge. Submit your proposals and win the chance to be one of the country's greatest innovators in agriculture.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May we all be healthy wherever we are. And welcome to the closing ceremony of Cultivhacktion. My name is Zara Zahira as the Master of Ceremony for this event. And I would like to extend a warm welcome to Your Excellency Bapak Muhammad Ridwan Kamil as Governor of West Java, Bapak Robi Darmawan, Head of Center for Data Information, Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia, Profesor Arif Satria as Rector of IPB University, William Sonneborn, Senior Director, Disruptive Technology and Fund IFC, Mrs. Dina Umali, Practice Manager, Agriculture and Food Global Practice, East Asia Pacific of the World Bank, Mrs. Leslie Goh, Senior Technology Advisor, World Bank Group, Bapak Pamitra Wineka, CEO TaniHub Group, Bapak Kelvin Wijaya, CTO TaniHub Group, Bapak Luki Gani, Chief Operation and Director of Marketing Microsoft Indonesia, Bapak Panji Wasmana, CTO Microsoft Indonesia, Bapak Wesley Harjono, Managing Partner Plug and Play, and to all the distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. So ladies and gentlemen, singing in Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. So, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Cultivhaction is a digital agriculture hackathon, which name derived from the word cultivate, hackathon, and action, that seeks to crowdsource technological solution in order to accelerate the digitalization of agriculture ecosystem in Indonesia. In Cultivhaction, the innovators are invited to develop solutions covering three main themes. First is improving agriculture, productivity and resilience to shocks, including the climate shocks. The second is expanding farmers, access to input, markets, and finance. And the last is supporting data-driven public sector decision making. And from all the ideas submitted to us, the judges had shortlisted the top 10 themes. Yeah, the top 10 themes, then further refined their solution, guided by prominent mentors in agriculture, business, and technology. So now let's take a look to the top 10's eliminate profile and the solution they developed.
Hi, this is Feby from Eurofarm. Eurofarm is a digital farming company based in Bandung, Indonesia, that aims to build a more resilient and sustainable agriculture ecosystem in Indonesia and beyond through technology. I previously worked at the two leading AI companies in Indonesia, Prosa and Kata AI. And my co-founder, Lintang, previously worked at Syngenta and other agri-tech startup. We are a team of 12 people, and together we combine our unique experiences in agriculture, software, and machine learning to tackle one of the biggest challenges facing mankind: how to feed the world sustainably. As human population continues to grow and the demand for food is increasing rapidly, however, up to 40% of global yield is lost due to pest and crop disease, or around $220 billion annually. This is a threat for global food security and also financial burden for farmers in Indonesia and around the world. At Eurofarm, we believe that the power of innovation and technology can solve this. That's why we built the Bertani, an AI-powered super app that can help farmers to identify disease from only a photo, connect with experts, and learn about cultivation guidance in more than 140 commodities, and also disease management in more than 1,500 pests and diseases. Farmers can also receive personalized insights regarding weather, market condition, and farm condition. So we believe that by democratizing technology to farmers and unlock the power of data in the agriculture industry, we can help feed the world sustainably. So let's join our journey to build a more resilient and sustainable agriculture ecosystem through technology together. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Ahmad Alimuddin, CEO and co-founder Teman Pasar. Traditional markets are powerless. It is difficult to compete with modern market, limited customer reach, working capital problem, and also COVID-19 pandemic since 2020. In the last 10 years, traditional market consumers shifting from traditional market to the modern market. Traditional market growth minus 8%, but modern market growth reached 31%. We have a vision to be able to make a big impact, especially on the traditional market ecosystem with the touch of technology. Teman Pasar provide an experience for shopping for daily, weekly, and monthly needs at the nearest traditional market in Indonesia. Shopping for 3 hours until 3 days later. Teman Pasar make it easy for consumer to shop anything from home simply by determining the location, choosing the nearest market, choosing the product, and also various payment options such as OVO, GoPay, Dana, Link Aja, and also cash on delivery. The solution that teman pasar present is that traditional market and their sellers are used as a supply chain, help to digitize their product, educate them about the technology, facilitate capital and bank access, and connect them to the farmers and or main traditional market in Indonesia, and also increase their sales up to 50%. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Adam, a veterinarian, also a cattle farmer myself. My company, Ternak.com, is developing mobile apps to help cattle farmers to easily sell their cattle. We are a team of 3. First, Edi Untukmu as a CEO. He is a founder of the PT Turlox Indonesia and the chairman of Bekasi National Entrepreneur Network. Second, Jeno Hufron as a CTO. He is serial software entrepreneur and CTO of Tetra Saham, and me as a COO who are passionately focused on the livestock industry for 5 years. For selling livestock, we need healthy, certified, and verified livestock. However, there is some problem. First, there is no standard references for the cattle farmer to determine the quality of the livestock. Second, there are still more than 20% case of animal disease in the Indonesian livestock. Third, we all know the presence of middlemen makes the price is higher, and sometimes there is a fraud, so the transaction become less secure. So for the solution, here's the video of our product.
Hi, I'm Rafli, the founder and CEO of Agris Nusantara. Agris was founded in 2020 and our business is based in Surabaya. Agris is a platform that aims to improve the welfare of the fisheries industry for fair fish market. For details, let's check the company profile video for Agris Nusantara. Enjoy this video. Thank you.
Hi, let's take a minute to talk about fisheries. Indonesia has a great potential in fisheries, but we can do more, so much more. Are you a fisherman? Or you want to invest in a fisheries, but not sure about the market? Don't worry, we introduce you to Agris. Agris is here to help optimize the fisheries industry. Agris provides 3 main services. First, community development, where we develop product recommendation feature that is based on a fishing session and the number of fish caught by the fishermen. Second, price correction, to compare fish prices in each region so you can get the best price to sell. And the last one is online market and online profiling, to expand the market and to make it easier to find customers. We aspire to help improve the fisheries and marine industry as well as the fishermen to bring progress to Indonesia. Agris, the solution for better fisheries industry.
Hello everyone, we are Tatanen, an agri-tech startup in Indonesia who focuses on food security IoT solution in urban farming, especially in hydroponics. This is our team. Dira Ilanur, he's our co-founder and CPO, who focuses on product development. He's a serial startup professional, and in the last 1 year, he focuses on urban farming research. And this is me, Fik Pratama. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tatanen. I focus on the business side of Tatanen. My professional background and networks hopefully could help Tatanen to grow larger. And this is my friend Haryadi. He's the co-founder and the CTO. He focuses on technical side of Tatanen solution. His background on microservices, backend developer, and software engineers could contribute to Tatanen's technical prowess. As we know, in 2050, it is predicted that world population will become 9.7 billion, and 70% of them live in urban areas. And it is happening also in ASEAN and Indonesia as we speak. The question is how to feed them all. If we zoom in, the problem lies in the scarcity of land, the large water consumption, and food transportation. These are the largest food problem in urban areas. In Bandung city itself, 60 to 80% of vegetable products come from rural areas, which mean extra cost for delivery and storage. That is why we focus on urban farming hydroponic solutions. We start with building solutions from farmer side first, since they will become our future partners. Tatanen 1.0 is an IoT mobile application solution for urban farmers. And Tatanen 2.0 combines Tatanen 1.0 and hydroponic kits for B2C segments. For Tatanen 3.0, we would like to collaborate with government and communities alike to solve urban farming problem in the cities. Tatanen 4.0, we would like to become urban farmer aggregators who connect urban farmers to B2B2C segments. For example, TaniHub could become our partners. Our solution is created by collaborate and co-create philosophies. We work closely with our customer to give the right solution. Currently, we are developing solutions that could help urban farmers' productivity routines up to 90%, so they could focus on what really matters, such as increasing their vegetables quality. But we don't stop there. Soon, we will develop remote control system and develop MVP for market-to-farmer integration, which could reduce their crop waste and turn it into profit. Furthermore, we could provide insight for farmers by analyzing the urban farming data. Thank you. That is all from Tatanen. Hopefully, we could collaborate in the future. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Marmila, founder and CEO iHetro. iHetro is a comprehensive platform that is a single solution for farmers to improve their knowledge, manage, and distribute agricultural products to export. Indonesia has potential agricultural commodities in every region. For example, coconut, coffee, and cinnamon. But this has not been worked out optimally, because farmers and agriculture SMEs still do not have the knowledge and ability to manage and distribute product. We can see data on agricultural SMEs that penetrate only 12.1% of export, and most of them have difficult access to market. So, your solution is helping farmer and SMEs agriculture reach more buyer and supplying across the globe. We cooperate with farmer through associations such as cooperative and farmer groups. Well, when there's a purchase that is accessed through the platform, iHetro will notify the farmer. We will verify and collect the farmers who have the commodities according to their demand, and then we process the commodities in the warehouse. Then we send it to the buyer. So, we hope to contribute in developing the local economy and building a sustainable agriculture system. Thank you.
Halo, salam kenal. Nama saya Lutfi, saya CEO dari Bertani. So, singkat, apa yang akan kita solve adalah bagaimana membangun sebuah agriculture smart data ecosystem yang mampu bekerja bahkan di daerah-daerah yang tidak memiliki jaringan konektivitas data yang baik. Sebuah ekosistem yang mampu mengkolek dan menjaga kualitas dan kontinuitas data dengan tujuan membangun sebuah basis data pengetahuan sebagai dasar pengambilan keputusan dalam konteks pertanian. So, dalam hal ini kami sudah melakukan research yang cukup lama pembangunan prototipe tahap demi tahap, dan pada saat ini kita merasa sudah siap untuk melanjutkan ke level yang berikutnya, yaitu mid to market. So harapan kami adalah kita bersama-sama mampu membawa pertanian Indonesia khususnya ke level yang berikutnya, menjadi jauh lebih baik. Oke, demikian salam kenal dan presentasi singkat dari saya. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa.
Halo, salam kenal. Saya Muhammad Hamdani, CBO dari Bertani.
Halo semuanya, salam kenal. Saya Agus Mulyana, CTO dari Bertani. Terima kasih.
Hi, I'm Grace Stefani from Dewi Sri. Have you ever thought the connection between you and the farmers and why you have to pay more for the better quality and healthy product? Well, that's because they put extra work on this. That is nice and good and classic, but it's not sustained. Farmers should not feel burdened, and you either should not feel pressure for fulfilling something that is very important for your life, which is healthy food. That's why Dewi Sri come up with a solution where you can get healthy product and better quality, but also at the same time, you also help the farmers out. This is all can happen because we are solving their problem in production cost and distribution chain. It is always our job to make sure farmers' welfare equals your satisfaction.
We at Dewi Sri develop technology with various use for farming purpose. The standard operating procedures we create are qualified to be used widely at Indonesian farm fields. Furthermore, we also maintain the traditional farming method to strengthen the yield. Dewi Sri uses the Internet of Things, or in short, IoT, by utilizing mobile phone cellular connection and calibrated sensors monitor the farm field from a distance. So, farmers don't need to check the farm directly. The farmers only need to check their smartphones, and the farm indicator data will be shown there in real time. Dewi Sri also developed an IoT-based precision farming. The data received will be sorted and processed by the agriculture experts, so the farmers will get suggestion of improvement based on the data according to the sensor in the field, making it more efficient and less blind farming involved in the farming process. With Dewi Sri technology, farmers will be greatly assisted in terms of flexibility. They can monitor the farms in real time whenever and wherever they are, without worrying the farm got ditched and untreated. The data processed by the agriculture experts also help them reduce the operational cost needed for the maintenance, increase the harvest yield, and maintain the harvest quality.
Hai sahabat petani, masih ingat kita kan? Yap, betul. Kita dari Pempem. Karena dukungan kalian semua, sekarang Pempem sudah jauh lebih maju. Kami meluncurkan banyak fitur dan promo dengan program baru kita, Pertanian Zaman Now. Pertanian Zaman Now bertujuan untuk membuat marketplace online agar seluruh anggota pertanian dapat berbisnis pertanian dengan teknologi terkini serta merasakan manfaatnya. Emang apa aja sih yang baru dari Pempem? Pertama, seluruh tampilan Pempem sudah berubah loh, dan cara penyajiannya pun jauh lebih mudah. Misalnya, untuk melihat harga, hanya tinggal tekan harga, dan semua harga yang dipasang dari jarak terdekat sampai yang paling jauh dari posisi kamu sekarang akan muncul deh. Daftar teratas merupakan lokasi harga terdekat sampai daftar terbawah, yaitu lokasi harga terjauh. Kedua, kamu sekarang nggak usah takut membawa banyak uang, salah hitung, ataupun antri panjang di bank, karena adanya fitur transaksi TBS non-tunai di aplikasi Pempem. Cukup dengan membawa smartphone, transaksi dapat dilakukan pengguna di mana saja dan kapan saja. Mudah banget kan? Ketiga, dengan catatan pinjaman digital, kini setelah catatan dibuat, pembayar juga akan ternotifikasi sehingga tidak ada perselisihan. Jika dilakukan dengan baik, informasi ini bersama dengan catatan penghasilan dapat membantu kamu mendapatkan pinjaman lebih tinggi loh. Keempat, adanya fitur evaluasi penghasilan di mana dengan mengunggah slip transaksi, agen dan petani dapat melihat jumlah penghasilan per bulan. Untuk petani, penghasilan ini juga dapat digunakan untuk melihat produktivitas masing-masing kebun. Wow, tunggu apa lagi? Yuk download Pempem baru. Rasakan manfaat dan kemudahannya. Rasakan pertanian zaman now.
Hello, we are Dosiraktek. We come to enable efficient farming with technology. There is a lot of unused land or lahan tidur in Indonesia that can be used as agricultural land. There are 30 million hectares unused land in Indonesia. It is equal to 30 million tons of rice for only one harvest. It can provide the rice needs for 270 million Indonesian inhabitants for 1 year. But it's quite hard to manage the unused land. There is a hard time when we find the suitable land for specific crop and also find a suitable crop for specific land. Because of that, we provide Petani, Pilihan Tani Indonesia, a recommendation system for soil fertility and crop planting, especially in unused land. We use satellite, IoT sensor, and Microsoft services in order to provide our solution. The user will get their soil and crop recommendation from their own Petani application. With Petani, the user will have precision farming, lowering their process duration and less their manpower. And here is our team. Bagoes as the CEO, Ega as the IoT engineer, Nida as data scientist, Chandra as agriculture expert, and Salma as business analyst. Thank you so much.
Yeah, once again, congratulations to the top 10 teams. And guys, for the Guidance Line Indonesia interpretation, please kindly check the chat box. We have watched the top 10 teams of Cultivhacktion with their inspiring technological solution covering different subsectors from horticulture to livestock and fishery that can help empower farmers through the use of the digitalization technologies. And yesterday morning, the top 10 teams presented their solution to our judges. They were assessed based on the relevance of their proposed solution to the problem statement, the level of innovation, the implementation, as well as impact the sustainability of their solution, collaboration and team's composition, as well as their pitch deliver. After much deliberation, the judges finally decide on the top 3 solution. Now, before we reveal who is the top 3 teams are, let us first hear from our organization's partners how they can support the top 3 teams to further develop and apply their solution to support agriculture development and improve farmer livelihood in Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Salam sehat. Yang saya hormati Bapak Gubernur Jawa Barat, Bapak Ridwan Kamil. Yang saya hormati Bapak Rektor IPB, Bapak Profesor Arif Satria. Yang saya hormati Bapak Ibu perwakilan World Bank, Microsoft, TaniHub, IFC, dan universitas, Bapak Ibu narasumber, dan para hadirin sekalian. Terima kasih yang pertama saya ucapkan dan apresiasi yang setinggi-tingginya kepada World Bank, Microsoft, TaniHub yang telah menyelenggarakan ajang ini, yaitu Cultivhacktion ini yang tentunya sangat bermanfaat bagi bidang pertanian. kami dari Kementerian Pertanian terutama Pusdatin tentu sangat mendukung sekali ya, kegiatan ini sangat bermanfaat sekali. Yang kita tahu bahwa sektor pertanian saat ini sangat penting sekali, terutama khususnya di masa pandemi. Di masa pandemi bahwa sektor pertanian lah yang masih bertahan. Ya. Sektor pertanian lah sangat penting bagi bangsa Indonesia, yang dibutuhkan oleh bangsa Indonesia, di mana seluruh masyarakat Indonesia pasti membutuhkan pertanian untuk kebutuhan pangan yang setiap hari kita tidak bisa tunda. Tentu di sini sangat berpengaruh sekali dengan ketahanan bangsa. Nah, sektor pertanian tentu sangat membutuhkan dukungan TIK, ya, tidak hanya di lapangan, di sawah dan di ladang, tetapi juga tentu kegiatan tersebut membutuhkan dukungan teknologi informasi. Ya, tentunya dukungan teknologi informasi ini untuk memudahkan para petani dalam hal meningkatkan produktivitas, memudahkan kegiatan petani supaya lebih efisien, supaya lebih cepat, supaya lebih produktif, dan supaya memudahkan para petani untuk memasarkan produknya, tentu yang bisa mensejahterakan para petani. Nah, kegiatan ini sangat baik sekali, terutama untuk mendorong para generasi muda, para milenial untuk menghasilkan solusi teknologi informasi yang sangat bermanfaat bagi para petani ya, di bidang pertanian. Ya. Nah, acara ajang Cultivhacktion ini ya, yaitu inovasi di bidang pertanian, yaitu untuk mencari solusi ya, yang berbasis TIK. Ya, tentu di sini sangat bermanfaat tentunya solusi-solusi tersebut ya, yang untuk meningkatkan produktivitas pertanian serta ketahanan, di mana ketahanan pangan ini bisa bertahan dengan guncangan-guncangan yang ada, baik itu yang telah kita rasakan yaitu pandemi, lalu juga akan adanya perubahan-perubahan iklim. Nah, tentu solusi ini bisa membantu para petani. Lalu juga solusi ini diharapkan dapat membantu petani dalam hal perluasan akses, ya, baik itu dari sisi input maupun dari sisi pada saat memasarkan, serta juga untuk membantu para petani memudahkan pengelolaannya. Ya. Nah, selain itu, inovasi ini tentu kami berharap bisa dimanfaatkan baik oleh petani juga para pengambil kebijakan yang memanfaatkan data dan informasi yang ada. Saya kira solusi ini harus bermanfaat ya bagi petani, dan juga tentu langsung harus bisa dirasakan kepada masyarakat dan harus berkelanjutan. Jadi tidak hanya digunakan atau untuk ajang ini, tetapi juga solusi ini harus bisa dimanfaatkan ke depannya. Saya kira kegiatan ini bisa terus dilakukan, dan saya sangat apresiasi, kembali terima kasih kepada penyelenggara ya, the World Bank, Microsoft dan TaniHub. Tentu kesuksesan kegiatan ini sangat bermanfaat sekali bagi kita semua. Demikian yang bisa saya sampaikan. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Huge congratulations to all those winners. The journey with Microsoft is just began. After completing the journey of Cultivhaction 2021, becoming potential Microsoft ISV partner are widely open for your company to partner with Microsoft, exploring our partnership with Global Partner Solution team, and becoming one of the potential ISV partners that we can go to market together to introduce your solution with our team to our customer. Or you can leverage another solution or program as well, like Kalian is startup program. At Microsoft startup program, you can have the many program resources that you can choose and pick if what's most appropriate for your organization to grow and further. That's an opportunity for us to stay together. Build a profitable ISV business very crucial. Microsoft has four platform to support all of you to build profitable ISV business. Number one, build your application on Microsoft, and Microsoft has the technology tools that developer loves, including GitHub and open source technology platform. You can enhance, you can embrace the solutions towards Microsoft from the source globally. Second, develop your strategy, being part of Microsoft global ecosystem. It's very crucial for us to partner with you on how we can connect the made in Indonesia throughout the world. That's why the opportunity of selling your application is third. It's about leveraging your Azure marketplace and benefit from the global reach. Someone, an organization or customer coming from different market can directly sell, can directly invite you to be part with on the application. You can have the marketplace throughout the world with Microsoft. And last but not least, you can connect with our partners. We have joined the largest ISV community. Partners community you can select with. So that to enhance your business, enhancing the potential of the growth, not only from the local market, but throughout the international and global market. Once again, huge congratulations to those winners for Cultivhaction 2021. We are looking forward to partnership, to embrace the journey, and empower Indonesia with Microsoft. Thank you very much.
Good morning, distinguished speakers, guests, and contestants. It's an honor for me to speak on behalf of TaniHub Group at this closing ceremony of Cultivhaction. First of all, I would like to congratulate the top 10 winning candidates who have been able to showcase the best innovations for Indonesia's agriculture. I truly appreciate your great efforts and looking forward to witnessing how the best ideas can be translated into solutions on the ground that will help farmers across the country scale their business and improve their welfare. At TaniHub Group, we believe that everyone can make an impact. With the vision of agriculture for everyone, we want to accelerate the positive impact of Indonesia's agriculture sector through the use of digital technology, and we're glad to find more and more young innovators through Cultivhaction. As you probably know, TaniHub Group itself was originally founded as an idea of a group of young Indonesians who are eager to solve problems in agriculture, especially on the downstream. On this special occasion, I would like to offer my gratitude to all of you who have been working hard to make this event happen and known to the wider public. During the 2 months long Cultivhaction, we have witnessed how stakeholders from various backgrounds with expertise on their field work together to find the best solutions to agriculture problems. Surely, this is just the beginning of a long marathon for us to keep finding the best possible solutions to answer one by one problems on the ground. I am hoping that this Cultivhacktion may inspire more young people to create new solutions that will help accelerate agriculture and eventually overall the Indonesian economy. Finally, I want to assure you that TaniHub Group is committed to supporting the innovators and working with the stakeholders, including the government of Indonesia, to ensure the innovation will be implemented hand in hand with our current projects with farmers on the ground. Bertani itu hebat, menjadi petani itu keren.
First of all, congratulations to the winning teams and also for all the top 10 finalists. You have all created impactful solutions to help our smallholder farmers and agriculture spectrum in Indonesia. I hope this hackathon experience can help you enrich your knowledge and the impact you created. I would also like to say it's been an honor once again to work with World Bank, TaniHub, Microsoft, and all 6 other partners for this hackathon for the past months. We are very proud to be part of the partnerships that demonstrate how collaborations between different stakeholders is the key to create an impactful change at a larger scale. This hackathon has showcased the great hope and potential of Indonesia's agriculture technology. This ecosystem we have here today helps accelerate the innovations of agriculture industry that will be beneficial for smallholder farmers, agribusinesses, and economic society in general. We cannot stop here. I believe that this is something that we need to be doing continuously. One hackathon will not create a significant impact. So we at GK Plug and Play Indonesia is running a cycle of never-ending innovations and stakeholder connections through the value chain of our innovation platform, starting with our venture capital networks, startup accelerator programs, and corporate innovations. Therefore, with the success of this hackathon and with the spirit of accelerating the innovations in Indonesia, GK Plug and Play, we are in talks to relevant stakeholders to start an agriculture tracks programs next year. We hope that the verticalized programs will focus on identifying startups and connect them to relevant stakeholders towards technology implementations that can help to both increase the well-being of smallholder farmers and improving agribusiness practices in general. These agriculture vertical programs will be established alongside the currently running ones, such as financial services, Industry 4.0, and sustainability. In the long run, we hope to synergize all verticals to create a value chain of innovations across industries. So once again, congratulations to all the winning teams and the finalists. Thank you for all the partners that have been working together for these Cultivhactions. Let's continue the good work. Thank you.
Okay, so now what we are waiting for and the most awaited announcement of the top 3 solution of Cultivhacktion. So here are the top 3 teams with their solution.
Bismillah and Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful to win and be the top 3 of this Cultivhacktion event and award. I don't know how to say and how to tell you how I'm very happy today. Thanks to Allah for everything in my life, and also thanks to my parents and my wife for always hear me, for always support my idea and help me to bring my dream come true. And thanks to all my team in Taman Pasar. This is for you guys. I'm nothing without you. And the last but not least, thanks to all the mentors, judges, and the committee of this event, this Cultivhacktion event. And one more thing, thank you and love you all.
Hi, I'm Angela from Pen. We are very thankful for this recognition that's been given to us. This is only going to be the start for a long journey for many of us, so let's continue to fight hard for the dream and the solution that we envision that we want to build, and let's support each other along the way. Here, we want to thank the organizers, the judges, the mentors for generously giving your time and this platform for us to refine our ideas and also to amplify what we do. This is only the start for many more conversations that is to come to transform Indonesia's agriculture. Thank you so much.
Greetings, everyone. This is Febby from your farm. I hope each and every one of you are doing well, wherever you are. I am very grateful of being selected as one of the winners at the Cultivhacktion event. It's been an amazing journey, meeting so many talented people, witnessed so many inspiring solutions to the most pressing challenges in the agriculture sector. This makes me really optimistic about the future. If anything, everyone here is the winners. It's great to see the passion, the commitment to create better agriculture ecosystem for us, for the future. Thank you for the organizer as well of this event, the World Bank, TaniHub Group, Microsoft, and other stakeholders. Thank you for giving us the platform to innovate, especially for Neurofarm, to spread our ideas and our works. I hope that through this event, we can create a ripple effect and trigger more innovations. Thank you for supporting Neurofarm's journey to build a more resilient and sustainable agriculture ecosystem through technology. Thank you so much.
Good morning, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and honor to speak at the closing event of Cultivhacktion, an agricultural data hackathon that is supported by the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Indonesia and the West Java provincial government. And it's been in collaboration with 10 very valuable partners. This inaugural data hackathon seeks to crowdsource innovative solutions to accelerate the digitization of the agricultural ecosystem in Indonesia. The world's population is expected to grow to 10 billion people by 2050, from 7.5 billion people today. And to support this large population, the IFC has estimated 70% increase in global food production will be needed. However, the agricultural sector faces increasingly complex challenges: poor agricultural practices, inadequate service delivery, poor farmer-to-market linkages that create lots of waste, lack of access to finance to smallholder farmers, and lower participation from our youth into the sector. Product quality, profitability, and the types of seeds and fertilizers we use. Also, we have land conversion given the growing population, overuse of chemical inputs, and ultimately the adaptability of climate change threaten the long-term sustainability of our food production. The use of digital technology has the potential to deliver positive impact across the agricultural sector and the entire food value chain, which is really important. It provides the opportunity to achieve greater efficiencies, make better decisions, equipped with the availability of data to connect small-scale producers to larger markets, while also providing a more environmentally sustainable way to feed our populations. To take full advantage of technology, public and private sectors need to work together to develop a digital agricultural ecosystem. AgTech or technology for agriculture, has experienced significant growth over the past decade in Indonesia. AgTech has tremendous potential for impact on the country, as it is a sector that contributes approximately 13% of the nation's GDP. AgTech is also a really important area for IFC's Disruptive Technology and Venture Capital Group, which I lead. We believe that these digitally enabled firms have the power to radically transform the agricultural sector. Over the last couple of years, we've invested in innovative firms such as Appeal Sciences, which makes natural coatings that extend the shelf life of fruit and vegetables 4 to 6 times without the need of refrigeration to tackle the $2.5 trillion global food waste problem. In addition, we've invested in Twiga Foods, a Kenya-based ag tech startup connecting smallholder farmers and providing finance to them in rural areas to informal retailers in metropolitan cities. We've also invested in AgroStar, a technology platform that provides not only inputs to smallholder farmers, but also delivers faster their outputs to market. And even in Indonesia, in the aquaculture space, we've invested in e-fishery, a technique to optimize the feeding of fish within the country. In this Cultivhacktion, many fresh, creative, and interesting digital solutions were submitted to help solve the challenges in productivity. Access to inputs, markets, access to finance, and public sector decision-making. The selected top 10 solutions were then guided by prominent mentors who are the subject matter experts in agricultural technology, data science, and business development to help guide them on their future path. After the course of the data hackathon, the judges have identified the top 3 innovative ideas. And congratulations to those 3 winners and to all that participated. The future generations that will benefit from your breakthrough, your efforts, and your ideas to transform the Indonesian agricultural food system is one of the best things you can do for your country. Thank you for inviting me to speak and participate in this closing ceremony. And I'm looking forward to seeing the ideas being implemented and the collaboration and partnerships that will happen after this event to continue to introduce transformation to the always growing agricultural sector in Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Distinguished speakers, hackathon finalists, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. After 2 months of intense activities, we have finally come to the closing ceremony of the Cultivhacktion. In this hackathon, we received many inspirational ideas and many technological solutions submitted by agri-tech innovators in Indonesia to address key challenges faced by the agriculture and food sector. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the top 3 teams with the most innovative and promising ideas from the Cultivhacktion. Congratulations and well done. I would also like to thank all the teams who have submitted their ideas, especially the top 10 teams who made it through to the preliminary round. I also wish to thank all our partners who have made this hackathon a success. I hope that all of you, our agri-tech innovators, have benefited from the experience and that the mentoring you receive will help you further develop your ideas. We look forward to these ideas crystallizing to provide new ways for Indonesia's agriculture sector to respond to existing and emerging challenges. And we do face many challenges. These include, how do we feed a growing and increasingly urbanized population whose food preferences are rapidly changing? How do we cope better with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic? how do we sustain agriculture in the face of increasing resource scarcity and climate change? Now, to address these challenges, it is essential to maintain and enhance agriculture's productivity, sustainability, and competitiveness. And digital agriculture technologies can help Indonesia respond to these challenges. It can also be a vehicle to support low-carbon green agriculture development, which would help the government achieve its climate mitigation and adaptation targets. Now, to ensure the promotion and scale-up of digital technologies adoption in agriculture, especially by the many smallholder farmers in Indonesia, the public and private sector working together will be key. This means building on the strength of their complementary roles. The government could strengthen the enabling environment to promote and foster innovation, while the private sector could develop and deliver solutions based on sustainable business models. And the Cultivhacktion is an excellent example of how public and private actors could come together to nurture the country's agri-tech talents. Now, supported by the Ministry of Agriculture and the West Java provincial government, the Cultivhacktion is a collaboration between the World Bank Group and the TaniHub Group, Microsoft, GIZ, FAO, IPB University, Grow Asia, Plug and Play, Data Science Indonesia, Planet, and MDI Ventures. Now, the question we face now is that what more needs to be done to help Indonesia's agri-tech innovators further develop and take their innovative solutions to scale. And I hope that the hackathon has helped open doors for more and stronger public-private partnerships to support the digital transformation of the agriculture sector, including in nurturing Indonesia's agri-tech talents. I also hope that the hackathon has inspired Indonesia's innovators to continue developing solutions to tackle key issues in agriculture. And we at the World Bank look forward to continuing to work with you and other agri-tech innovators, including through an upcoming project with the government, which would provide an opportunity to pilot some of the promising solutions in digital agriculture directly with farmers in selected locations, including in West Java. Bertani itu hebat, menjadi, petani itu keren. Farming is great and becoming a farmer is cool. Terima kasih.
Distinguished speakers, hackathon finalists, ladies and gentlemen, selamat pagi. Thank you for joining us at this closing ceremony for the inaugural data hackathon, Cultivhacktion. Today, we are thrilled to celebrate the top 10 teams of young innovators who are harnessing the power of data and digital solutions with fresh perspective to transform agriculture. Digital technology holds the promise for transformation of agriculture and food system in Indonesia. Our aspiration is that your creativity will lead to better lives for the smallholder farmers to increase their productivity and improve their livelihood. It has been a culmination of more than 2 months of dedication from our 10 partners and the excellent submissions from young innovators. Hope you benefited from the knowledge exchange and learnings across the regions with international leaders, tapping upon the multi-stakeholder partnership between public and private sectors. through this data hackathon immersive experience supported by the Ministry of Agriculture and West Java Province. We are activating the young talent and empowering the next generation of agri-tech innovators to scale up the innovation. Let this be the start of a series of innovation initiatives so that together we can empower the highest potential to address Indonesia food systems challenges. Terima kasih. Sampai jumpa.
Selamat kepada para pemenang Cultivhacktion. Mari kita bersama membangun negeri melalui sektor pertanian. Kami Microsoft akan selalu menemani kisah sukses teman-teman semua. Semangat!
Congratulations to the top 3 winners of Cultivhacktion. You have done a great job showcasing your best ideas to the judges and mentors. Keep up the good work.
Okay, once again, congratulations, and I want to remind you that for the guideline Indonesian interpretation, kindly check the chat box at YouTube comment. And the excellencies, participants, and all the audiences, now we are going to listen a warm speech delivered by Governor of West Java, Republic of Indonesia. Your Excellency Dr. Honoris Causa Haji Muhammad Ridwan Kamil, STMUD. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bapak Ridwan Kamil.
Hello everybody, my name is Ridwan Kamil. I'm the Governor of West Java, Indonesia. I would like to convey my appreciation for this Cultivhacktion event organized by the Ministry of Agriculture, the Provincial Government of West Java, World Bank, and all the sponsors. As you know, the hackathon, the code source event, coding event is very important because this is part of our mission in West Java to transform our civilization, our development, focusing on digital revolution. One of the most important economy, and it is survived during COVID, is agriculture. That's why technology, agriculture, if you combine, that is the future. So we are very supportive on anything related to enhance the productivity of our agriculture economy. As you know, Early this year, we launched what we call the millennial farmers because we have a crisis in farmers in villages. Young generation, they move to cities because they are thinking that in villages there is little hope in terms of economy. But now we prove that economy in rural can be as competitive as in urban, as long as you have the skill of digital, as long as you have the technology digital skills. So therefore, we are hoping millennial farmers, as an example, in West Java, will succeed by the help of any application agri-tech technology during this event. So hopefully we will see the new economy, the new future. You live in the you live in the rural area, but you make money like you live in the city. That would be the future, as long as you have digital skill and technological skill. Once again, congratulations for Cultivhacktion of this event. Regards from me, Ridwan Kamil, Governor of West Java. Thank you.
Yeah, once again, congratulations to the top 3 solutions, and also congratulations and thank you so much to all the top 10 teams and everyone who participate in this hackathon. In our next sessions, we will hear from our international speakers about how to development in digital agriculture in transforming the sector and bringing impact to the life of smallholders, farmers worldwide.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. With COVID-19 and climate change, we're currently in the midst of a health, environmental, and socioeconomic crisis. Historically, crises have spurred technological change and sometimes led to the adoption of new systems with long-lasting effects. For example, in the response to COVID-19, we regularly hold meetings and conferences over Zoom, and that effect may persist. However, the most disadvantaged have often been left out of these technological responses to the COVID-19 crisis, and could also be left out of some of the long-run adjustments. But I don't think we have to take that as given. Just as high-income people have benefited from the development of digital tools to adapt to the COVID-19 crisis. These tools could also be developed for farmers. For example, it may be valuable to adopt digital approaches to deliver services such as agricultural extension. During the pandemic, governments and international institutions have shown an increased interest in complementing overburdened in-person extension services with digital offerings. This also raises the question of whether digital agriculture could be useful beyond the current pandemic to address long-term as well as short-term challenges. There are currently over 1 million agricultural extension workers worldwide, but there are still many farmers who do not receive advice and many technologies and approaches that farmers could adopt to improve their productivity. Expanding in-person extension to reach more people may be challenging because with in-person services, the cost increases almost linearly with the number of people served. Digital technology has great potential to augment and improve existing extension services by addressing this problem. Mobile penetration rates are rising in Indonesia, as in many low and middle income countries, and text and calling rates are extremely cheap. This means the cost of reaching extra farmers with digital extension is very low. Digital agricultural extension has other benefits too. Information delivered through mobile phones can be made available on demand, can be customized to individual farmers' needs, and even timed to the crop calendar. Extension services can be tested and made more effective through iteration, A/B testing, and data analysis. There are reasonable grounds for skepticism about digital agricultural extension as well, however. Maybe farmers don't need more information or will not change their practices in response to it. That's because of these concerns. Raisa Fabregas, Frank Schellbach, and I put together a paper, which we recently published in Science, that aggregated the results across multiple studies to try to get an overall picture of the impact of mobile phone-based extension services. Randomized trials in several countries have found evidence that even very simple informational text messages can improve input use, crop yields, and supply chains, and can have positive impacts on overall market efficiency. For example, we found that simple text messages increase the odds of farmers adopting lime by 22% in areas with acidic soil. Because it was so cheap to implement, this program had an estimated benefit-cost ratio of 9:1. Our meta-analysis that pulled data from multiple studies found that basic messages increase adoption of fertilizer and nutrition crops, improving crop yields by 4% on average. While the effects of digital extension are modest in absolute magnitude, they provide a large relative boost above other existing promotion efforts. And because they're extremely low cost, even modest impacts make them highly cost effective. There will also be many opportunities for innovation and improvement of digital extension services in the future, especially as smartphone penetration increases and other advances in technology become more widely available. These can be used to address challenges posed by climate change, which are altering weather patterns. For example, accurate local weather forecasts could be valuable for farmers to make decisions about when to plant or when to harvest based on the start or end of the rainy season. Forecasts could be made for quite small fixed costs and disseminated through digital extension systems. Advances in remote sensing can enable even more customized information. Machine learning and artificial intelligence could improve personalization, and two-way communication can enable large-scale data collection from farmers to provide better overall recommendations. What's the best way to organize these, and what's the role of the private sector and of governments? Well, I think both the private sector and governments have a role. I think there have been many attempts to use subscription models in which farmers pay for services to provide digital extension services, but most of them haven't succeeded. And economic theory suggests that it's very difficult to get efficiency in markets for information, in part because it's a public good and can be shared freely it's hard to make a profit from selling it. However, there are other approaches to private sector business strategies that may be more effective. But even those will face some challenges. And I think the large benefit cost ratio from a social standpoint, together with the limitations of private sector approaches, suggest a role for the public sector or for telcos in providing these services. In particular, governments can either directly implement these digital agriculture programs and digital agricultural extension programs in particular, or they can partner with NGOs. And I helped found one NGO active in the area, Precision Agriculture for Development. So governments can, they could implement directly. They could do that in partnership with NGOs that have expertise in this area, or they could simply fund others to do it. I think one key thing is to make sure that we're continually experimenting, trying to learn the lessons from those experiments to innovate and improve services over time. And the key is going to be identifying flexible institutional models that permit partnerships to function and allow solutions to be taken to scale. I'm excited about Indonesia's progress in digital agriculture, and I believe that the field has enormous potential to improve farmers' well-being and address environmental challenges. I look forward to seeing what happens in Indonesia in this sector over time. Thank you.
Hello, this is Bob Kaplan, Harvard Business School. I want to share a few minutes of thoughts on the role that business-led ecosystems can play in reducing inequality, poverty, and environmental degradation. We start by looking at who is the target audience for these programs. These are the smallholder farmers living in isolation in rural communities and villages. We look at the number of people, the 800 or million people that are still living in dire poverty, defined by the World Bank as less than $2 a day of income. Up to 80% of them are these smallholder farmers who are not only living in extreme poverty, but also degrading the environment as they try to supplement their meager incomes by cutting down more trees to get more land to grow their crops inefficiently and with soil and water pollution associated with their use of bad chemicals and bad fertilizers. No single company can address this problem by itself. If you look at what is required to get smallholder farmers to be better farmers, higher quality output and higher yields with less damage to the environment, it actually requires quite a few different types of private sector organizations. You need banking services so they can get credit, to purchase seeds, fertilizer, crop protection, and irrigation equipment in advance of the growing season. They need insurance to protect them from adverse events that they had nothing to do with, droughts and floods, which destroy their crops and livelihood. the ability, to purchase high quality seeds, low cost, environmentally friendly irrigation systems, drip irrigation systems, non-polluting fertilizer and crop protection services, access to mechanical equipment, like tractors and plows, and access to immediate customers, distributors and aggregators who can store their product, keep it refrigerated until the end-use corporation is ready to take it. They need training and social services that NGOs can supply. They need collaboration from the government to allow new enterprises to form. And we need some external funders to launch these new ecosystems and get all the players on board. This might seem overwhelming, but we have examples where it works. Let's take as one example, Bayer, Better Life Farming Centers, in an article that I wrote with Bayer people, published in the Harvard Business Review a few months ago. And the article describes how Bayer set up an ecosystem that enabled farmers to get access to understand the role for finance and insurance, to access quality farm inputs, like seeds, fertilizer, crop protection, irrigation, agricultural equipment, information and training, how to be a better farmer, and using sustainable agronomic processes, and linkage to the market, and eventually to large agribusinesses as end-use corporations. The results from this work of these Better Life Farming Centers, which were started in rural India, have been incredible. If you look, it started with chili producers. In 4 years, the income went up fivefold, from $630 to $3,300 per year. Profit per acre, yields per acre tripling, and extended to other crops, tomatoes, corn, and paddy, and to other regions in India and now other countries, including Indonesia. So this type of collaboration and inclusive growth ecosystem is truly remarkable, but also replicable. It starts by requiring that what are the interests of each of these multiple players in creating a successful inclusive growth agribusiness ecosystem. NGOs want to preserve the environment, and rightfully so, and enable us to produce more crops with fewer greenhouse gas emissions. Farmers, of course, want to live more profitably and have better family life, better opportunities for education and employment for their children. The suppliers, want to sell to these smallholder farmers and realize that they can help the companies at the bottom and people at the bottom of the pyramid. Local distributors will profit, because they'll have more high quality crops to purchase, store, process, and then distribute further downstream, and eventually reaching food retailers with higher quality, locally grown products, and making consumers happy that the products that they purchase are not only nutritious, high quality, but are also helping to relieve poverty and to save the environment. How do we reflect all these different interests in the ecosystem? And that's the role of the balanced scorecard that I introduced with David Norton 30 years ago. And the initial thought was to focus on private sector companies, a company at a time, to improve their financial performance by doing better with customers and understanding how to measure their performance with customers, improving processes so we can produce better, more novel, higher performing products at lower cost, and the foundation, learning and growth, how to enable better skilled, better motivated employees, access to better data and information, and a stronger culture to continue to work in the organizations, improve processes that delivers benefits to customers and eventually shareholders. Well, we can take this private sector scorecard and now extend it to reflect the multiple interests that the entities have in creating these inclusive growth ecosystems. And the outcomes are not just financial, though the financial results still must be there for the private sector companies, including the lenders and investors in the ecosystem, but do it in a way that improves societal outcomes, such as better income to the farmers, as I showed on the previous slide, and better environmental outcomes, fewer cutting down of trees, less pollution of the soil and water. And to do this, we have to understand the role of all these different stakeholders that we saw in the previous slide and make sure that they're getting their objectives met by participating in these ecosystems, identify the collaborative processes that must go on, and what are all the enablers for the ecosystem. And so a sample strategy map that reflects this broader set of objectives is shown on this slide, where we still have financial outcomes for the private sector participants, but also societal outcomes. How much are we improving family life, more opportunities for women, better employment, and relieving poverty in these villages, and improving the environmental outcomes by allowing trees to grow and flourish and restoring the degraded land and water from the past abuses. And then in this middle sector, we can think about the role that each of the members in the supply chain and financial intermediaries are getting from participation, serving more distributors, aggregators, processes, and end-use corporations, enabling farmers to enter new markets, new crops, and reduce the risks of current business practices. These will require new processes. We have to be able to distribute and sell to people at the bottom of the pyramid, a lot of them the smallholder farmers, but also purchase their products and services and use them in corporate supply chains. We have to do environmental management processes to eliminate waste and reduce the degradation that has gone on. And once we've created these scorecards at the high ecosystem level, we can get the strategy map and objectives for the lead company, the end-use corporate off-taker, all the way down to the smallholder farmer. What do they want to get out of it? What financial performance? What performance for their families and themselves do they want? And local purchasers, distributors, who are basically the customers of these smallholder farmers and eventually the suppliers to the end-use corporations. So we're now in the process of demonstrating how to create these strategy maps and scorecard for all the players in these linked ecosystems that is creating benefits for all. And it's not just to help set up the scorecard, this becomes the governance system that we will be using with them on an ongoing basis as we bring all the players together, including representatives of the farmers and the local aggregators, to see what's working in the ecosystem and what's not working. What do we have to get better at? Make sure that everybody is getting benefit, financial benefits, societal benefits from their participation. And if we can do that, then we can not only create these inclusive growth ecosystems, we can sustain them for years and decades, contributing to reductions in poverty, reductions in inequality, increases in the food supply, which is now being grown in a sustainable manner. This is all, very exciting, but is all very doable. And I hope to collaborate with you as we go forward on this journey.
I compliment the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Indonesia, and the World Bank Group for organizing this hackathon. It's a very unique attempt to infuse innovation into agriculture. with the impactful action on the ground at the same time. So it's all about, making a difference to the agriculture sector through innovation and digital agriculture. We have seen that in several countries, including Indonesia and India even, we have reached a plateau with all the technological innovations in the form of green revolution. Now we have to go with the fourth industrial revolution, as I see it, if we have to create a further enhancement in the productivity and production in the agriculture sector. Talking about innovation, innovation cannot be produced nor can it be procured through a formal process. It has to just happen. We need to kind of, as government, as a multi-stakeholder community, we need to put in place the necessary enablers for innovation to happen, as I see. There are three major innovating enablers that we need to think about. The first one is about the data. We need to have data on which innovation can be attempted in the first instance. So the data has to be accurate and real-time in the case of agriculture, and it should be accessible, of course, protecting the rights of the individuals involved at the same time. The second enabler is the digital ecosystem that produces the data required for innovation. So the kind of applications, the kind of platforms that we need to have to generate that data. It is kind of desirable that we think of an ecosystem approach here rather than a system approach, which is typical and traditional. The ecosystem enables the public sector and the private sector systems to interoperate in a seamless manner and produce a better effect as a result of this. So the third component or enabler is to establish the framework for public-private partnership. So here is an innovation, here is an agri-tech enterprise which has really got a brilliant idea. But how does it scale? How does it access the various data sets and scale across larger geographies and several countries? So we need partnerships to begin to happen in this space. So for which you need to have a framework which addresses the various requirements of a collaboration between the public and private sector. So the beauty of a PPP framework is that it combines the accountability of the public sector with the efficiency and agility and flexibility of the private sector. So net what I'm saying is that if we put the key enablers in place, I think innovation will happen very rapidly and in a way that will help the farming community in a much more meaningful manner. In India, we have been taking up several initiatives. I would like to mention two initiatives which are relevant in this context of this hackathon. The first one is called IDEA, or India Digital Ecosystem for Agriculture. We have evolved it over the last 2 years in a consultative manner, consulting with the public, with the industry, with the stakeholders, with academia. And it's a unifying platform consisting of several key building blocks. An ecosystem, just like innovation, it cannot be built overnight and it has to evolve over a period of time. So the idea is about a framework that enables the ecosystem to evolve in a rapid manner. So it revolves around certain core building blocks, you may call them, like for instance, the unified farmer service interface, which enables interoperability across the public and private sector, with the farmer being in the center and the consent of the farmer being also critical in the whole exercise. The second initiative I would like to mention now is about AI for AI. It's for AI for agriculture innovation. It is bang on the theme of this hackathon. It's about agriculture innovation and more so the responsible deployment of emerging technologies in the area of agriculture. Why I'm saying underlining the word responsible is that technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning and IoT and drones, blockchain, have all their tremendous positive value, but there is also a potential negative or harmful effect that they can cause if not properly used. So we need to balance this, the positive side and the negative side, and see that we maximize the positivities as such. So AI for AI or AI for Agriculture Innovation Project is the project promoted by the World Economic Forum, for which I am, a chief advisor to the India Center of the World Economic Forum. We are working with a few provincial governments in India to pursue this concept, and it is a comprehensive or a holistic approach to deploying these new technologies like artificial intelligence, for instance, across the entire value chain of agriculture, starting, say, from crop planning to smart farming to farm gate to fork to data-driven agriculture, all aspects of agriculture from seed to sale, so to say, and beyond. So the whole idea is to enhance the value or create new value in the various components of the value chain, agriculture value chain, and make a difference to the farmer in terms of productivity, in terms of profitability, in terms of convenience, transparency, and the future proofing of all this deployment, sustainability, equity, small farmer holdings. How do you address their special needs? So these are all part of this very interesting, exciting project called AI for AI. And we are, as I'm speaking, we have an expression of interest going on in one of the governments in India for this. So in short, the attempts like this, like the hackathon and what's happening in India and several other countries, I would say, we are at an exciting time now where the innovation is being applied in several different ways to the field of agriculture, so that we meet the sustainable development goals related to food and agriculture sooner than 2030. So I wish the event a grand success, and I look forward keenly to the kind of solutions that will be brought forth at the end of this hackathon. And I thank the government of Indonesia and the World Bank Group for affording me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts. Thank you all, and all the best.
distinguished guests, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you at the conclusion of this exciting digital agriculture hackathon. I'm Cindy Lim, Executive Director of Sustainability and Agricultural Impact at Pinduoduo. We at Pinduoduo are firm believers that engaging youth through technology is key to nurturing a stronger and more sustainable future for farming. Let me share with you in the next few minutes some of our experiences in China, which might provide you with some food for thought as you continue on your digital agricultural journey. So, who is Pinduoduo? Pinduoduo is China's largest agricultural platform. On our platform, over 850 million annual active buyers can make purchases of fresh produce and other agricultural goods directly from over 16 million farmers who are connected through our platform. In 2020, we sold over $256 billion worth of products through our platform, of which agricultural goods accounted for 16%, or $42 billion. So, how do we do what we do? Well, on our platform, farmers can sell to consumers just by creating a store where they can then have listings like this one for dried mango, as you see on the right-hand side of this slide. So on our platform, users would basically be browsing and checking out recommendations that are surfaced to them in their personalized feed. Our company was founded in 2015 and was designed for the mobile web. So it's designed for a very interactive shopping experience when you're on the go. And our slogan is together, more savings, more fun. So the whole idea is to make the shopping experience very interactive, very intuitive, so users can just browse and discover new products and share it seamlessly with their friends. Or alternatively, they can also just tap into product listings that were shared by their friends and join in with their friends to make these purchases. So the whole process becomes a lot more interactive and fun, just like how you're shopping offline, maybe in the shopping mall or in the market with your family and friends. On this slide right here, on the bottom of this mango listing, you can see that there are two prices, one in red and one in pink. The price in red is significantly lower and is the team purchase price that is available to users if they make a purchase together. And this price is all set by the merchants. They're able to offer these compelling prices because of the power of aggregating demand. And this is particularly important for perishables, where larger volumes of demand aggregated translate to greater visibility for the farmer. And therefore, they are then able to offer this very attractive wholesale price. By aggregating information about pricing and demand, this can be used by players across the entire value chain, including growers, retailers, distributors, and suppliers. This better data and visibility aids with planning and drives greater efficiency. Now, what we've achieved is connect farmers more directly to consumers across China by bringing the national food distribution chain online. This in turn widens the farmers' market and what empowers them to sell more and enjoy better prices. So what you see here on this slide is an example of garlic. On the top half of this slide, what you would see is a traditional distribution chain, whereby there are multiple layers of wholesalers, regional distributors, and other distributors before the product finally makes its way to the consumer at the retail outlet. So what this means is that the farmer is maybe only making about 2 RMB per kilogram of garlic, while the consumer ends up paying a significant 8 times price markup. Now, if we're able to have a better sense of where that demand is nationwide through the online platform, we can actually bypass a lot of the unnecessary transportation and moving around of these products, which contribute to the markup. The farmer on Pinduoduo, he can actually sell the garlic for 4 RMB per kilogram. So the consumer is paying a quarter of what they used to pay, and the farmer, after netting out the additional costs of doing the packaging and paying for the parcel delivery, still makes a 30% higher income. So this is a significant win-win for both farmers and consumers, and also helps to reduce the environmental footprint of the agri-food value chain by helping farmers send their products more directly to the end consumers. By empowering the farmer and lifting their incomes, they can now take on more ownership and invest back into their farms as well. Now, when you reposition the farmer as an agricultural entrepreneur, they also need to be equipped with additional skills to better connect them with the digital economy, which we do through Duoduo Academy. Through online and offline courses, we provide training to these agri-entrepreneurs in e-commerce and store operations. What we've seen is that not only do they create direct employment, they also stimulate demand for ancillary services in their communities, thus helping to bring more people into the digital economy. With ready access to analytics on store sales and guidance on selling, as well as growing through our partnerships with agronomic institutes like China Agricultural University, we see that the barriers to success in farming can be gradually lowered, and farming in general can be made a more appealing career. To date, we have trained over 100,000 new farmers. These are youngsters who are already experienced in mobile internet and technology and have had some exposure to life maybe in the big cities or at least with e-commerce. So as they go back to their rural hometowns and start up their own agri-businesses, they've also been upskilled and trained by us with how to actually successfully create an e-commerce business to sell their local hometown produce. And we are committed to training another 100,000 of such new farmers over the next 5 years. On the upstream production side, we are also leveraging our skill to connect farmers with agri-tech to help them improve their cultivation. Toto Farm was launched in 2019 and features a unique tripartite partnership between ourselves, local governments, as well as agronomic institutes. So what we do is we actually sponsor and create some seed funding for the creation of a cooperative. This helps to overcome the constraints of small farmers tending to haphazard or fragmented plots of land. And with the advice of the agronomic advisors, we are able to together introduce high altitude off-peak varieties of citrus that's suitable to the local climate and can also fetch them a better price because it now matures and bears fruit at a different time than other competitive crops. So this allows them to reach out to the market for citrus at a time where it's also less crowded on the supply side. With the use of new technologies that are now possible because of the larger plot of land, such as drip irrigation and drone spraying, the farmers have also seen a reduction in their fertilizer use as well as labor inputs. This is particularly important in the setting where a lot of the farmers are aging and there are fewer and fewer young manpower that's heading back to the villages to help out with the farming. So we really need to introduce technology to continue to maintain the sustainability of agriculture going forward. And I think this highlights the importance of reaching out and creating multi-stakeholder collaboration and partnership that can really help innovations to take root. The next example I wanted to share is our Smart Agriculture competition, where we are trying to cross-pollinate and stimulate wider interest in agri-tech to push the industry further. With our Smart Agriculture competition, we are basically providing a global platform for young technologists to demonstrate what is possible by combining crop science and AI, and we're challenging them to create practical solutions for the industry. Last year's inaugural event saw AI teams challenged to use machine learning and IoT technologies to remotely produce more strawberries in smart greenhouses in Yunnan. The AI teams eventually produced almost 3 times more strawberries than the traditional grower teams were able to in the adjacent greenhouse. And 2 of the AI teams have since commercialized their results and their findings and are now partnering with traditional farmers to improve their yield, with one of them working with over 100 households. We're now launching our second edition of this competition, and we are in the stage where the finalist teams are now trying to grow tomatoes in the smart greenhouses that we've built. They will be using AI and machine learning to see if they can produce more nutritious tomatoes with a smaller environmental footprint. So I think this again demonstrates the ability for technology to unearth new ways in which we can make a more sustainable impact. Lastly, I'd like to introduce our 10 billion agriculture initiative, which we announced in late August this year. We have pledged 10 billion RMB towards the advancement and adoption of agri-tech and the promotion of digital inclusion. And this initiative will be personally overseen by our chairman and CEO, Lei Chen. We hope that through our investment, we can accelerate the development and take up of new technologies that can benefit China's farming communities. So in summary, some of the key takeaways from our experience that you might find relevant would be the following. First, human capital development is key to sustaining agri-tech digitization and transformation in the long term. We view human capital as not just a catalyst, but the essential fuel to sustain this long-term movement. We need to have youths who are willing to embrace agriculture and devote themselves to digitizing and modernizing this industry. And for them to do that, they must be convinced that there is a bright future in agriculture. So multi-stakeholder collaboration plays a big role in this and can help to bring in the needed resources and capital investments to improve the capabilities of farmers to grow well and sell well. Only then can we expect to see these young farmers flourish. A big part of that is also driven by digitization of agriculture. So with the digitization of the agri-food supply chain, for instance, on the supply and demand side, when we digitize that information and better match it, we can minimize food loss and waste. This then also translates to greater income for farmers. At the same time, when we're better understanding what is happening on each farm or at the crop level, we can also be much more efficient in our resource usage. So this again not only benefits the farmers' economics, but also paves the way for a greener future for agriculture. Thank you all for your kind attention, and I wish you all the very best for the journey ahead.
My name is Simon Winter. I'm the Executive Director of the Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture. Our vision is a bright future for smallholder farming. And in order to create that future, we need to work with young people who are looking to create a sustainable and resilient and profitable future for farming. We need to work with entrepreneurs, with farmers, with people wanting to provide services to those farmers to create that bright future. In Indonesia, we're very proud to be partnering with Yayasan Agri-Sustainary Indonesia, or YASI for short. YASI is our local partner, and I will come back in a moment to tell you a bit more about what they do. But first of all, let me just recognize that agriculture and food systems are in transition. The opportunity to create this bright future is very much enhanced, potentially, by digital technologies. However, at this point in time, we are still seeing too many digital technologies working in isolation, not working as part of a vibrant and connected ecosystem. We need to help those digital entrepreneurs and innovators reduce the cost of their services, improve the efficiency of their services, and improve the specificity of their advice so that these services can become profitable ventures, whether they are standalone ventures or whether they're embedded in the provision of inputs or in supply chain opportunities offered by food manufacturers and retailers. In order to help young people access these technologies, particularly in low-income rural areas where we focus, we need to also have these digital technologies have a human face. The levels of digital literacy and the state of infrastructure in many rural communities is still relatively underdeveloped. And so we focus at Syngenta Foundation on developing agri-entrepreneurs, young people who want to see an entrepreneurial future by staying in their rural communities and helping with agricultural transformation. This means identifying a new generation of women and men who want to be these entrepreneurs, and then connecting them and training them and empowering them to work with digital innovators and offer digital services connected to the rest of what is needed by the smallholders. So back to YASI. YASI's focus in Indonesia is on sustainable intensification. And we do this in particular through the development of a network of local village-level agri-entrepreneurs running small one-stop shop solution centers, which we call Petani. These centers provide a combination of inputs, services, advice and training, market access, and access to financing. And they are complemented by insurance, agri-insurance services, through a program which we call Dana Pandan, and also through access to improved seeds varieties through commercialization of those varieties in an appropriate, accessible, and affordable way to the smallholders. We're working a lot on digital innovation, and we're very much looking forward to finding new partners and new opportunities to leverage, in particular, the Petani to be able to offer these digital services and digital opportunities to smallholders. This can lead to shorter value chains, it can lead to better and more stable markets, better prices, more profits for the entrepreneurs and for the smallholders. And we have a range of digital tools that we've been developing, like our e-farmers hub, that we can offer to be integrated into a digital ecosystem. But we can't do this alone. We need to support the development of multi-stakeholder initiatives and partnerships that can really create a powerful, integrated digital ecosystem where data and information can flow from businesses to the farmers and from the farmers back to their customers and their suppliers and their financiers and so on. So we look forward to finding new partners coming out of the digital hackathon and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Owen Barder. I'm the Chief Executive of Precision Development, an organisation co-founded by my co-presenter, Michael Kramer. And I'm honoured to speak to you, the practitioners, the innovators who've breathed life and solutions into the Cultivhacktion over the past month. I thank the World Bank, the Indonesian government, the West Java provincial government, and all the partners for convening this important collaboration in the name of innovation and, critically, inclusion. At Precision Development, we build systems to share knowledge with the world's poorest and most disadvantaged people via their mobile phones. We use the tools and technology of Silicon Valley and complement them with research and lessons learned from development economics and behavioral economics to build services that empower people to change their own lives. We do this at scale and we do it cost effectively. At the end of the second quarter of this year, Precision Development was servicing over 5.3 million users at an average cost of roughly 50 US cents per user. Our success is built on the collaborative practices of people like you. Our work relies on a fantastic team of technologists, product developers, subject matter experts, and development practitioners who research, experiment, iterate, and innovate digital solutions to information poverty. Our work is scaled and advanced in collaboration with partners representative of a variety of sectors, governments, multilateral organizations, private and non-for-profit organizations, with global to hyper-local spheres of interest. Precision Development operates platforms in South Asia, East and West Africa, and South America. An overwhelming majority of our 5.3 million users are smallholder farmers, and the vast majority of the farmers we serve are extremely poor. The information we send to farmers generally takes the form of digital agricultural advice, so that farmers are well positioned to adopt optimal, resource-efficient and productive practices. Our services also transmit information about environmental stewardship, nutrition, market prices, input availability, and put farmers in touch with agro-dealers, crop insurance providers, and other services of use to the farmer. We know, from the work of Michael Kramer and other colleagues, that if one provides compelling, accessible, and actionable information to smallholder farmers, be they relatively well off or extremely poor, they are capable of changing their behaviour and adjusting their cultivation practices, and switching the use and intensity of inputs to improve their productivity and well-being. In 2021, we deployed a service to over 100,000 farmers in Nigeria, including smallholders working land in remote and conflict-affected areas. For many of these farmers, the information we provided was the first extension advisory service they had ever received, and we sent it to them regularly, 1.13 million minutes of advisory information covering 9 priority crops and timed to each cropping cycle. You can read more about this intervention on our blog. You know that for information to be useful, it must be relevant and it must be at the right time. That is, it must be timed to meet the needs of the farmer. There's no point in sending a farmer post-harvest advice in the spring, or indeed to send a crop farmer information about fisheries management. Our platforms and tools help farmers to make informed decisions using information that is tailored to their productive activities, their location, their conditions, and their resource envelopes. By using mobile phones, we can time our communications precisely and provide information to farmers when that information is most valuable to them. Mobile phones also allow us to collect information from farmers, to inform tailored information packages distributed over the course of a cropping. By collecting relatively basic information from a farmer, such as their mix of crops, their land type, their soil conditions, and so on, and complementing this with information about weather forecasts or input prices and availability, market access, and so on, we're able to tailor the information we dispense and dramatically increase its value and usefulness. At-scale digital systems offer rich opportunities for learning and innovation. Our teams routinely deploy A/B tests to assess the relative effects of a range of factors on improving listening rates and adoption. For example, the effects of reminder SMS messages, the timing of calls, the structure and the length of a message, and so on. In Uganda, for example, we found that both male and female farmers are more sensitive to messages narrated by a female voice. And now all our calls in Uganda are narrated by a woman. We innovate and we learn as we deliver. Mobile phones also allow us to communicate with farmers in the context of crises. Real-time information can be valuable in the context of a catastrophic weather event or pest infestation, and can help farmers take decisive actions to stem or prevent losses. We're working cost-effectively to integrate information from remote sensing data and high-resolution weather forecasting to inform smallholder farmers so that they can make better decisions. Traditional extension activities, from farmer field days and farm visits, had to be drastically curtailed because of the COVID pandemic, while digital information services and exchange have proliferated. All of you have in your pockets a small but effective tool for which we can build powerful information systems to empower farmers, advance environmental sustainability, and tackle poverty. I applaud the work you've advanced through this hackathon and look forward to hearing more about the innovations that you have pioneered. This pandemic has cruelly exposed global and national inequalities. As Greta Thunberg observed, while we all face the same storm, we're not all in the same boat. COVID-19 has hit poor people hardest, and it has hit women harder than men. The COVID-19 pandemic has reminded the world of our common humanity, that nobody can be safe until we're all safe. It reminds us too of the value of shared knowledge and the power of knowledge. We're overcoming the virus through a combination of remarkable collaborations and innovations, and critically, through the sharing of knowledge and information. Yet we still don't have good enough systems for sharing knowledge with everyone who can benefit from it, even though it's largely costless to do so. Today you've all advanced that ambition, and we thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to have an opportunity to share with you my perspective at your data hackathon. So let me talk a little bit and introduce Inari Agriculture. So Inari is a seed design company. So what we do is we create the seeds, this little unsung hero, to have an impact as nature positive outcome so we can have a better food system. So how do we do that with this nature positive seeds? So we create the seeds by using the two technology platforms, and we call it, in a simple term, software and hardware. What we mean by software, some people call it machine learning, some people call it AI, but we call it predictive design. And the reason why we call it predictive design, because with these little seeds for the food system, you would argue that it's an unsung hero because it's at the beginning of the food chain. No matter what we do, it starts with the seeds, but it's just so small there. I'll give you an example of this little corn seed. Even though in general, people will look at it and say that it looks simple, but when you go inside and really look into it, the complexity of the genome is very high. In fact, it's sometimes even more complex than getting into understanding the human genome. So that's the predictive design that we would really like to understand. What are the genes inside these little seeds and how does it link with its phenotype? So that's the first part of the technology that we use. The hardware, what we do at Inari is multiplex gene editing. So the software would say that rather than just only knowing this county, that if we have to create the map, we know how to get there, but it's going down to the level of the street, the combination of the street in the southwest of this town combined with northeast, then it will create certain phenotype, for example, the water reduction. And that multiplex gene editing or the hardware is the tools that allow us to essentially express the natural genes into the phenotypes that the software tell us. So that's how we create the nature positive seeds. When we talk about this nature positive, what do we mean by that? What we mean is when you have this combination of the differentiated tools of the software and the hardware, it's an obligation to create the product that is good for the food system. And when we talked about it, when we define the food system, we talk about it as three things. One is we want to create the crops that has good productivity so we can feed the world and we can use less land. But it's not only about the yield, the productivity, it's also about how do we save the environment? How do we use less resources such as water, such as chemical fertilizer? And the third part, it's not only about yield, it's not only about the environment, but the profitability to the farmers who live in the community, and then that profitability will bring up the profitability of the community overall. And that's how we talk about, how we think about the nature positive outcome. We think about it as the triangle, that we want to create three things that could build up the sustainable food system. And that's what we do. And I encourage every one of you to think about what you're doing that can create the impact to society, whether it's small or big. The problems of what you are trying to solve right now is a lot. It's not going to be coming from just one company, one entity. We all have to solve it together. And talking about diversity, in fact, our business model and the whole business concept of seed design of Inari is about how do we create the diversity from the nature the most, genetic diversity. And that's the principle of how we do the business. Same thing in terms of diversity of thoughts, how we work together in the company here. It's about how we ensure that we embrace the diversity of the thoughts, of the thinking together. I'm proud that in our organization, we do have 50-50 female and male in terms of the diversity of how we work at Inari. And on top of those, the background and the knowledge coming from not only about agriculture, some of them come from pharmaceutical industry, some coming from the academia area. So that's what we actually encourage, that the more that we can think differently, the better it is to build on top of one another. So that's the piece that I would like to share with you. Everything that you do, every encouragement to go back to the purpose, every single encouragement to think out of the box, every single encouragement to solve the problems that sometimes you would argue, you use the word as, is unreasonable. Okay? And if you could solve the unreasonable problems, that's when you get the real breakthrough. With that, I would like to thank all of you very much in giving me this time to share with you our perspective. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Simona. I'm founder and CEO of Plantix. Thanks for inviting me. It's great to have the possibility to present our work at the Cultivhacktion. Plantix is an ecosystem for small-scale farmers and agriculture retailers. So our vision is to digitize agriculture and make farming economically and environmentally more sustainable. I mean, 30% of the worldwide harvest is lost due to plant diseases and pests every year. Farmers rely on their harvest, they put a lot of money and time growing their crops. If a disease or pest strikes the field, it's an emergency. You want to treat your crop as fast as possible to reduce the damage. But identifying plant diseases is hard, particularly if you work with new crop varieties or due to changing patterns through climate change. Together with my husband, who is the CTO of Plantix, I studied geography and soil science. I did my PhD in Brazil, where I worked with a lot of farmers, huge soybean farmers and small farmers from the Amazon. We realized no matter what size the farm is, every farmer was scared about plant diseases. But often enough, it was really hard for the farmers to identify the disease and find out the right treatment. So Rob was working with machine learning at this time, which he used to analyze laboratory data of our soil samples. We thought, wait, if an algorithm can learn to identify patterns of laboratory data, why can't we train these algorithms to learn patterns of plant diseases or pests and become a digital plant expert? And how cool would it be if a farmer just needs to snap an image with his smartphone of the ill plant and we can directly tell what's the disease and how to treat it. With this idea, we founded Plantix in 2015. We started to train our models and build a smartphone app for farmers. In the beginning, we trained on 15 diseases and we're happy about every single download. Today, Plantix is the worldwide leading and biggest app for farmers with more than 15 million downloads, and our image recognition became world-leading. Big corporates from industries are using it. Today, we train on more than 60 different crops and 400 different patterns of pests and diseases. With every image we get from a farmer, we can make our algorithms even better. At the moment, most of our users are coming from India, but we get pictures from all over the world. Indonesia is picking up at the moment, or since the moment we translated into Bahasa Indonesia. More than 30,000 farmers already downloaded Plantix and have sent us over 100,000 images over the last few months. When we look at the company history of Plantix, I mean, we used the first years to only concentrate on building a product that brings value to the farmer, which is quite a challenge since most farmers are using smartphones for the first time. But our health check, so the image recognition, is a perfect tool to build trust. Farmers are in this emergency when a disease or pest hits their fields. Plantix is next to them in this very moment and can offer a solution within seconds. So in the next step, we understood that the need for support does not stop with only the identification of the disease, but also need the right product in the end to take action. We started to connect retailers into our ecosystem. I mean, we don't want to deliver products to the farmer, we do not want to do last mile, but rather make the retailer our partner on the ground. By building this ecosystem, we build up two main assets. So in general, digital access to the farmer and the retailer. And with this, we collect a huge amount of data. So data on field level in real time, which is otherwise not available. Based on these two assets, we can plug in several services to monetize our ecosystem. Nearly all services around farming suffers from a lack of digital access and to the farmer, as well as from data on farm level. We deeply believe that we rather monetize at this tail end than the farmer directly. But I mean, Plantix is not the only good example of all the great tech startups out there. So I'm really excited about the hackathon you started, only with fresh ideas, creativity, and the courage to disrupt some ancient traditions or processes within agriculture. We will be able to have an impact and make farming more sustainable. So thanks, and I wish you a lot of success and fun during the hackathon. Bye bye.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, and to all audiences, now we have come to the end of the closing ceremony, and we hope you guys can get the insight from our finalists and from our speakers, and become inspired to explore the potential digital agriculture. And I would like to thank to all the initiators, World Bank Group, Microsoft, TaniHub Group, GIZ, and also to our stakeholders, Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia, West Java Provincial Government, Plug and Play, FAO, IPB University, Data Science Indonesia, Grow Asia, Planet, and MDI Ventures. And of course, to our mentors and judges, and all the participants, and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining this closing ceremony, and see you again in the next Cultivhacktion. Bye.
you